What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the world of dual clutch transmissions. Those marvels of modern engineering that can shift gears faster than you can say supercar. Now, if you're rocking a dual clutch transmission or DCT, you're already familiar with their lightning-fast shifts and impressive fuel efficiency. These transmissions use two clutches to pre-select gears, essentially eliminating the lag you might experience with a traditional automatic. But here's the thing. There are a few things you might be doing that could be putting unnecessary wear and tear on your DCT. Don't worry though, because in this video, we're going over 5 common mistakes to avoid, ensuring your dual clutch transmission stays as smooth and responsive as the day it rolled off the lot. Alright, let's kick things off with a feature that gets every gearhead's heart pumping. Launch control. Now, launch control is designed to give you the fastest possible acceleration from a standstill. It's like unleashing the fury of 1,000 horses, all perfectly controlled by your DCT. But here's the catch. Using launch control incorrectly, or worse, trying to replicate it with a barbaric neutral drop, can spell disaster for your transmission. See, launch control isn't just about dumping the clutch at high RPMs. It's a carefully orchestrated dance between the engine, transmission, and various electronic nannies. When you engage launch control, the car's computer takes over, managing everything from engine speed to clutch engagement to ensure optimal traction and acceleration. Neutral dropping, on the other hand, is like throwing a wrench into this finely tuned machine. This can result in catastrophic damage, leaving you with a hefty repair bill and a broken heart. So, unless you're a qualified mechanic with a death wish for your transmission, stick to using launch control as intended, sparingly and responsibly. Now, speaking of treating your DCT with respect, let's move on to our next point, shifting like a pro. So, you've mastered the launch, you're feeling good, but now it's time to talk about the bread and butter of driving a dual clutch transmission shifting gears. Now, while DCTs are designed to shift gears for you, understanding their shift logic can significantly enhance your driving experience. You see, DCTs are always thinking a step ahead, pre-selecting the next gear based on your driving style and the car's current behavior. This means that if you're about to enter a corner and you know you'll need to downshift, the transmission likely already has the next gear queued up and ready to go. However, if you suddenly mash the accelerator while the transmission is preparing for a downshift, you might experience a slight delay as it adjusts to your input. To avoid this, try to be smooth and predictable with your inputs. Anticipate your downshifts, and give the transmission a moment to catch up. Another crucial aspect of shifting with a DCT is understanding the different driving modes. Most DCTs offer a range of modes from eco-friendly to track-focused, each with its own unique shift pattern and throttle response. Experiment with these modes to find the one that best suits your driving style and the current driving conditions. Now let's talk about a situation where smooth shifting is crucial: creeping in traffic. Chapter 3. The Creeping Conundrum. Traffic. The bane of every driver's existence. And for those of us with dual clutch transmissions, it can be a recipe for premature wear and tear if we're not careful. You see, unlike traditional automatic transmissions that use a torque converter to smoothly transmit power, DCTs rely on friction clutches, much like a manual transmission. This design allows for lightning-fast shifts and increased efficiency, but it also means that excessive slipping of the clutches, like what happens when you're constantly creeping forward in traffic, can generate heat and wear them down over time. So, how do you avoid becoming a clutch-killing machine in traffic? Well, the key is to minimize clutch slippage as much as possible. Instead of constantly creeping forward, try to maintain a consistent speed, even if it means leaving a slightly larger gap between you and the car in front. If you find yourself at a standstill for an extended period, consider shifting into neutral. This will disengage the clutches and prevent them from generating unnecessary heat. Remember, a little patience and mindfulness in traffic can go a long way in prolonging the life of your DCT. Now, let's shift gears and talk about another traffic-related scenario: stopping at red lights. Chapter 4. Red light rituals. Neutral or not, we've all been there. Sitting at a red light, engine purring, contemplating the mysteries of the universe. But for some drivers with dual clutch transmissions, this moment of contemplation is overshadowed by a burning question. Should I put the car in neutral? Now, unlike a manual transmission where shifting into neutral at a stop is generally considered good practice, Doing so with a DCT is a topic that sparks endless debate among automotive enthusiasts. Some argue that shifting into neutral reduces wear and tear on the clutch, while others maintain that it's completely unnecessary and potentially even detrimental to the transmission's longevity. Here's the thing. Modern DCTs are incredibly sophisticated pieces of machinery. They're designed to handle the rigors of everyday driving, including countless stop-and-go situations. When you come to a stop and drive, the transmission's computer automatically disengages the clutches, preventing them from slipping and generating excessive heat. Moreover, constantly shifting between drive and neutral at every stoplight can actually introduce unnecessary wear and tear on the transmission's actuators and sensors. So, unless you're planning on winning a staring contest with the driver next to you, there's really no need to shift into neutral at a red light. Speaking of which, let's tackle our final point: mastering hills with a DCT. Chapter 5. Conquering hills with confidence. Hills, those seemingly insurmountable obstacles that test the mettle of both man and machine. But fear not, fellow DCT drivers, for your transmission is more than equipped to handle the steepest of inclines. However, there are a few things you should keep in mind to ensure smooth sailing when gravity is working against you. First and foremost, remember that hill starts with a DCT are a breeze thanks to, you guessed it, Hill Start Assist. This ingenious feature prevents your car from rolling backward when you release the brake on an incline, giving you ample time to smoothly transition your foot to the accelerator. When ascending a hill, try to maintain a consistent speed and avoid sudden changes in throttle input. If you find yourself struggling to maintain speed on a particularly steep incline, don't be afraid to downshift manually using the paddle shifters or the gear selector. This will allow the engine to rev higher, providing more power to conquer the hill. However, avoid downshifting too aggressively, as this can cause the engine to rev too high and potentially trigger the rev limiter. Descending a hill with a DCT is equally effortless. Simply engage a lower gear using the paddle shifters or gear selector to utilize engine braking. This will help control your speed and reduce the load on your brakes, especially on long descents. And there you have it, 5 common mistakes to avoid with your dual clutch transmission. So there you have it, 5 common mistakes to avoid with your dual clutch automatic transmission car. Remember, these transmissions are designed for performance and efficiency, but they also require a bit of understanding and finesse to operate at their best. By avoiding these common pitfalls, you can ensure that your DCT provides you with countless miles of exhilarating and trouble-free driving. As always, thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the world of dual clutch transmissions. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Drive smooth, drive smart.